Just obviously really pleased with the win, and first and foremost, just happy for our players. They've been great, and extremely proud of our whole team. Just the way they've performed, not only today, but really going back to January. It's been 11 months that we started this thing, and they've been great at every turn to work with. So I just really appreciate that. It's a long road, to get only 12 chances to compete, that are guaranteed. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So just really, it's been easy to work with these guys. Proud of how they competed, how they fought, and the other thing, they've responded no matter what goes on, even during the course of the games. They've done a good job, I think, responding, and certainly, we lose a game, they get back up on their feet. So to me, today's games really represent the kind of guys that we have on this football team, and, they really understand what it means to go out and fight and compete for the full 60, and that's really what the game's all about. So, I think the best part about all this stuff is we got a long weekend. Everybody can just kind of take some time away, and the players certainly need that. All of us do. But really, the nicest thing is they can enjoy it and feel really good about what they've done, not only today but for this entire season long. So it's really good about that, and it's a good feeling when the players they go home and can feel good about what they've been doing, and these guys have earned that. There's no question about that. So the only two things I'll mention. It sounds like Mark's set some records. Dolph just told me, I guess. I think it was Kenny Plain, Wilbur Hollis, and Ed Podolak that he moved by. And that's pretty good company right there. There might be another record into, I think, a Big Ten one. So I'm not totally surprised what a great individual he is, and he's just been a great addition to our team. And then probably the biggest news of the weekend, I don't think it's a secret, but Aaron and Aubrey Graves welcomed Grayson Graves last night, somewhere around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that ballpark. So you can imagine what a great weekend that is for him. And he did get a game ball. My wife made sure I didn't screw that one up. So he got a game ball this morning, or Grayson got a game ball, and just a great weekend for our team. So I'll throw it out to questions.
Kirk, I guess when it comes to Aaron, being a father, and obviously Aaron now being you, how hard is it emotionally to choose between having to play one final game, regular season game for a team in the program he's loved all his life, or staying back with obviously his newborn son and his wife? Aaron was overwhelmed with emotion when he talked about Grayson with us.
Yeah.
From your perspective, what were the conversations? I don't want to say just about football, but how do you kind of approach that as a coach?
I think really the only tricky part would have been if Grayson had been born and Aubrey was in labor. So there is no choice at that point. I would have told him that. So, but luckily, pondered that yesterday morning when I learned there's some things moving, and she's a month early, which, Grayson's a month early. So I thought this was going to be an issue potentially at the bowl game. So it all happened a little quicker. And it's just fate how it all worked out. But, yeah, there's no choice. If the baby hadn't been born, I think Aaron would have stayed there. Or else he could have hitchhiked, I guess, But fortunately, everything just, played out perfectly. And both sets of parents were there. So I think everybody's good. And I know where he's going when he gets back. So.
What's it say about the team for them to be able to rally around Aaron once you guys were able to share the news that his son had been born?
It's kind of a weird year. We've never had, I don't think, 3 married guys, first of all. So that's strange. And then, sometimes love and marriage, right? It leads to the baby carriage, all that stuff, the kids. So, it's just one of those situations. But, again, none of us were expecting that. Aaron's just, highly respected. What a tremendous young guy he is. And, it's things happen fast for him. So it's a good thing. But I'm not surprised at all those guys. He's earned everybody's respect in a lot of ways. Just the way they competed. The first half was touch and go, certainly, and wasn't going per script. We had tremendous respect for number 21. He's a really good football player, and he was on film. And then certainly, we got to experience him live today, and we had a hard time tackling him. And, so he ran the ball really well, popped the one real big run, and then hurt us on that screen pass, too. That was a really big play for them. So, we had our work cut out for us defensively, and then, offensively it wasn't easy, but the guys just kept pushing. And then we had the one mishap in the kicking game, which is uncharacteristic, but it's just one of those plays. But the defense helped the cause there. So just, back and forth, everybody, nobody on this team the three groups, they don't look at each other funny. It's just like, something happens, we're going to play on. We'll make up for it. We'll figure it out and keep going. And that gets down to the players. You got a bunch of really, really good guys working with each other, and they don't panic.
Only 4 teams have won 8 games every year since 2015. Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and your program.
Yeah,
What does it say
okay.
about your program and how you've been able to sustain that success?
It doesn't make headlines, I guess. 8 wins doesn't, but it just, I think, the game's all about trying to do your best daily. That's all it is. And, our guys have been able to do that. And it's you guys heard me say it before, it's hard to win. It's hard to win in college football games. I can't speak to high school. I haven't been there in a long time, but it's hard to win in NFL games. It's just there's a lot of people competing trying to do the same thing. So I'm proud of the consistency there. Part of that's having a staff that's been consistent and, a philosophy, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But, games are won and lost with the players that you have, and that's where it all gets down to. So it's a real compliment to our guys. And to me, it would have, not that it would have been a shame or unjust, but this team deserved to be at least an 8-win team. And I'll be really surprised if they don't try like hell to win 9. I'll be really surprised.
You always talk about who needs stories to develop during the season. They have
Yeah.
DJ Boname seems to be one of those guys.
Yeah, that was part of today's story. I think if you look at Voname, Reese is not a first-year guy, but he's had a lot of injuries that he's dealt with, and I think we've seen now that he's really starting to come into his own, if you will. We've had some injury situations. Everybody's got injuries in November. That's not unique, but TJ could have gone, but not. We didn't feel comfortable. He didn't. He went full speed. So all of a sudden you look up and Godfrey's out there playing, and then next thing you know, Jacob Wallace, who's on the scout team 5 weeks ago, he's on the scout team. He made a couple plays, but yeah, that's what you like to see. And DJ's been a guy with every opportunity that just looks comfortable, and he just keeps getting better. And he stepped up big today. We found him in a couple good situations, and he likes playing. It's just he's easy to like out there on the field. That's for sure.
What did you think about the way Rashad played?
Looked good to me. Yeah, it looked good to me. And he's, I won't say issues, but he's almost gotten too big at times. Like, we're on him about his body weight at times. And for young players, it's part of being with young guys. They don't understand the details. But thought he competed really well today. He's a tough physical guy, and he's a great guy to work with. And it's this should do something for his confidence. Because it's one thing to practice and all that stuff, but getting out on a game field and having success against, a good football team, I mean, it's a big thing. So hopefully that'll give him a shot in the arm. We had high hopes for him anyway, and this ought to help push him down even further.
For a guy like DJ Boname, to go from the bottom of the depth chart to the team's leading receiver by this point in the season, just how does that happen, especially here at a university where the tight end, so to say, the persona I guess you guys have for tight ends is so
Yeah.
special.
Well, first of all, don't pay too close attention to our depth charts because we don't always tell the whole story. But, yeah, I mean, it's how, experience and all that. So I guess at one point he probably was. But we really, with him last spring, we saw him doing that. Like, he was clearly better than maybe what, the recruitniks would have said and all that stuff. And then last spring he just started looking comfortable playing the position. He was a high school quarterback, and I've said this before. I think it surprised me more than anything is just his ability to block and his willingness, and he's got a knack for it. He does some things that take more guys more time to learn how to do. He seems to be able to do that pretty adeptly. But it all centers around his attitude. He's a really good athlete, but he's got a great attitude, and he really loves playing. So, and it's what you do with your opportunities as a player, and he's doing a great job there.
Why was it important to keep marking the game for the final deal? 0 by 24, they got on the back there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything intentional there other than just, I mean, first of all, he don't want to come out, and that's probably the biggest part. And then ball security, even though we're just taking a knee. But, yeah, I think it's really fitting. He's been the leader of this offensive football team and one of our leaders. And we settled in those captains. It's all season long. It's been the same 4 guys, and I think that's the team saying, I'm the one who looks at the votes. It's pretty resounding. So, yeah, it's just, it's good that he was out there. I know he enjoyed that moment.
A couple more. He goes into that upper body, injured that he's hurt with the upper body. 3 plays later, he scores on the quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
How proud are you of the toughness that he has shown
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, but yeah, very tough. And I just said that on the radio. I think, you think one of the things that really impressed me, he has to come out of the Indiana game. Appreciate his honesty in that game because he came and said he can't, I can't do it. I can't decelerate. Excuse me. But ever since we moved in that new building in 15, I've got a window now to the outside. So I saw his car out there. I mean, shit, he was out there more than I was. That next week, the bye week, So, I mean, he was working hard to get back, and there's no way he wasn't going to play unless something just crazy happened. But that's how he's wired. He wants to play. He loves to play. He loves the competition, and loves the camaraderie of being part of a team.
Describe this regular season in a couple words.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I'll just go back to when I think of the season, I think of the team that we're working with. I'm just really proud of them and just very, very appreciative. They've been easy to work with. I mean, it's. And I told somebody a while ago, I can't remember us having a bad day. We've had a couple that were okay, but not a bad day. Like this team doesn't have bad days, and there's a cumulative effect to that if you stay with it. And so I'm really happy to see them get rewarded. That's more than a few words, but I'm really happy for them not that they deserve this one, but it just, they earned it today. They did earn it.
What's Conan Tringer? I know he left the game pretty early. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, he'll be fine. We lost a couple guys today that just couldn't go, but expect everybody to be, hopefully in a couple of days here ready to go. So should be good. And TJ Hall will be in that group too. He's right there. So okay, thank you. Enjoy your holidays. Thank you.